I grew up as a Latina where my mom said, you work, you never depend on anyone, you never depend on a man, you go to school, you get a job, you make a career. I did all the things in the order that I was supposed to do them. And now I was making a decision to leave to support my family.
Farida Mercedes was an HR executive at L'Oreal for 17 years before she voluntarily decided to leave her job last fall due to the toll the pandemic was taking on her family life. She is now a full-time stay-at-home mom.
I couldn't imagine being a stay-at-home mom, and I respect them 100%. It wasn't who I was. And to make the conscious decision to leave while friends around me and people around me were losing their jobs was very, very hard. I just wasn't happy, and I wasn't able to show up for my family, as well as struggling with showing up the way I wanted to at work. It was so difficult.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 865,000 women dropped out of the labor force last September, compared to 216,000 men. And there are over 2 million fewer women in the workforce now than there were in 2020. Experts say that almost half of the women leaving or losing their jobs are Latina.
The biggest chunk was that Latina, 324,000, were either furloughed or laid off, but most of them made the difficult decision to say, you know what? The thing that's most important for me right now is taking care of my family, going to the supermarket and making sure that they're not falling behind on their learning.
Why do you think it's more women versus men?
I think it's that traditional role, right? I think it's the traditional role of making sure that the women know what's best for the family, how they can provide. We're also incredible multitaskers, right? So we can make sure that we are providing and building a community and a home that's going to be successful.
When someone like Farida chooses to leave her job to make sure everything is taken care of at home, that decision can come with a lot of guilt.
I cried a lot. There were a lot of days of crying because I wasn't sure if it was the right decision. And I have many, many friends who unfortunately were either furloughed during the pandemic, lost their roles during the pandemic. And as an HR professional, speaking to people at work who I had to unfortunately deliver news of they no longer had a role, I did feel guilty. I know that there's a lot of people who have said to me, I wish I could do that, but I need to feed my family. And I get that. But you need to fill your own cup so that you can fill the cup of others. There are so many outside things that are happening with the pandemic and other things that are happening that can put extra stress on you that many people don't look at. So taking care of yourself first is so important.
Taking care of yourself can have different meanings for different people, but the time that Farida has taken for herself has proven to be priceless.
In a way, you're richer now than you were when you had your job, right?
Before, what made me feel accomplished was, what is the next title, that title that I was in, or I just got that salary increase that I was really looking forward to. And now my wealth is in time, the time that I get to spend with them. I want to nurture that time that I have with my kids. So that may mean that I don't go for that VP title because I want more time with my kids. And I realize now that that's what I want.